Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was once again embarrassed after he tweeted condemning demonstrations in Canada supporting Hamas's terror attack on Israel, as Indians reminded Liberal leader of his support to Khalistani terrorism. Trudeau has been in a diplomatic soup ever since he accused the Indian government's hand in the death of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. The Canadian authorities have been involved in a war of words with the Indian side over the issue. Justin Trudeau on 10 of October 2023 put out a tweet condemning the pro-Hamas demonstrations in Canada. Quoting his tweet, "The glorification of violence is never acceptable in Canada by any group or in any situation. I strongly condemn the demonstrations that have taken place and are taking place across the country in support of Hamas's attack on Israel. Let's stand united against acts of terror." The Canadian Prime Minister responded to support from pro-Hamas demonstrators in various parts of Canada after the terror group launched a surprise infiltration attack on Israel on October 7. Notably, several rallies supporting Hamas in Palestine were organized in the span of 2 days in Canadian cities such as Toronto, Calgary, Vancouver, Winnipeg and Halifax. After Justin Trudeau tweeted out condemning Hamas supporters, Indians pointed out the hypocrisy of the Canadian PM. Author and defense analyst Abhijit Iyer Mitra commented a picture of a poster which demanded the assassination of Indian diplomats in Canada, as he wrote, "Is it the cumulative effects of the crystal myth you take, or are you just a two-faced crook, or both?" Notably, after the death of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, posters were put up by the Khalistani terrorists in Canada with photos and names of Indian diplomats, which had the words "assassination" and "wanted." According to an India Today report, even 3 months after Hardeep Singh Nijjar's death in Surrey, posters calling for the death of Indian diplomats were present outside a Gurudwara. As per an HT report on 6 October 2023, the radical Sikh activity against India and in support of so-called Khalistan continues unabated in British Columbia and Canada, with posters calling for the assassinations of Indian diplomats posted in the country back at the Surrey Gurudwara. Apart from the instigating posters, several other incidents were brought to the light by Indian netizens. Twitter user Alpha Defense captioned, "Really?" as he posted an image of a float depicting the assassination of former Indian PM Indira Gandhi. Earlier this year in June, a video went viral of a Khalistani demonstration in Canada with a float of Indira Gandhi in blood and another float of her assassinator. The incident led to widespread condemnation from India as External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar rebukingly stated, "I think it is not good for relationships, not good for Canada." Several others criticized Trudeau for voicing out against pro-Hamas rallies but being soft on Khalistani elements. Twitter user The Skin Doctor wrote, "Please complete your tweet with, let me once again reiterate that the above tweet refers only to protests in support of Hamas. All other forms of protest, especially against India, are entirely acceptable. Not only protests, but even violence is deemed acceptable. In fact, if India attempts to infringe upon your rights to violence, I will bring this matter to the attention of the world. I will contact every world leader and express my concerns about India's actions. Sincerely, Jastinder." The Twitter user referred to the Canadian PM's constant and unabated support of Khalistani activities in the country. In recent years, Canada has emerged as a hub for Khalistani terrorists who frequently raise calls for violence against Indian citizens and leaders. According to a report in September 2023, the chief of the banned US-based Six for Justice outfit, Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, threatened of political death of PM Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar in India. The SFJ chief, a wanted terrorist in India, was speaking at a Khalistani referendum event in Canada. The event, which called for separatism in India, was even allowed once before by the Canadian authorities in 2022. Last month, Pannu openly threatened to attack Indian missions in Canada and issued threats of India's balkanization. Recently, the National Investigation Agency had confiscated the properties owned by Gurpatwant Singh Pannu in Chandigarh at Amritsar on September 23, 2023, under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Pannu has been leading an anti-India campaign and encouraging Sikh youth in his home state of Punjab to join militancy. Pannu and SFJ are also backed by Pakistan and ISI. SFJ is registered in the name of Pannu, his brother Avtar Pannu, and Pakistani national Muhammad Salman Yunus. Interestingly, Gurpatwant Singh Pannu also set up his first business alongside this Pakistani national. Yunus further partnered up with Pannu in setting up KKRF or Kashmir Khalistan Referendum Front. According to Osintwa, KKRF is active on ISI's Kashmir Khalistan model to disintegrate India. Ghazala Habib, another member of KKRF, is a member of Pakistani-backed organization Friends of Kashmir. This organization is known for its anti-India propaganda on Kashmir. In 2020, it held a webinar and invited various US politicians and Pakistan's Sardar Masood Khan, Abdul Hamid Lone and Avtar Singh Pannu, the elder brother of Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. Interestingly, Ghazala Habib and Pannu have also engaged with USCIRF officials. The UCIRF, or United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, has been at the helm of anti-India propaganda for several years. It has cast aspersions on the integrity of Indian institutions and peddled hysteria about an impending genocide in India. It is purely hypocritical of Justin Trudeau to criticize pro-Hamas supporters and standing out against terror acts when so far Khalistani terrorists like Gurpatwant Singh Pannu were able to operate freely from Canada, where they openly raised calls to target Hindus or Indian diplomats.